Yo, interesting thought. This one is for the females. To be honest, it's for anyone, really. But I've come across a lot of, social media, what do we call them? Social media posts, memes, and all that kind of stuff. Just scrolling, and I've come across this theme of chicks posting things online saying something like, what was it, like respect is the bare minimum, or respect is what matters, or something along the lines of like loyalty equals love. These kind of memes and quotations and whatnot. I'm sure you've seen it. We all have, right? Now I got a question about that, right? And this question is actually posted to females, because that's who I see posting these types of things most, right? Now, if that's the case, now if you're telling me that respect is the minimum, or loyalty is greater than love, help me explain how these bad boys, so-called bad boys, players, whatever guy we put in that category, that you guys seem to put in that category, okay? How do these guys, keep getting the gonads? They keep getting the goods. They keep getting, you know what I mean? Like, how do they keep getting attention if that's the case? Because there's something going on here, based on what you're saying and the outcome. Two different things, which brings me to the topic that I actually want to talk about, right? Cognitive dissonance. I'm sure you've heard of this. If you haven't, cognitive dissonance is where you say you're going to do something, or you're about something, or these are the type of morals that you believe in, or whatever, but your actions and what you actually do are contrary to that. You do something else. You're basically a nut job. You're just all over the place. You're not holding to your word and all that kind of stuff. Kind of like what's going on here, what I'm trying to say, right? So what's been verbalized and the results that we see in actual reality, there's some sort of cognitive diffidence going on, right? Meaning people aren't actually doing what they say. They're not rewarding, loyalty. They're not rewarding respect. They're rewarding the opposite, right? And the weird thing is that people won't even acknowledge this, right? When you're in cognitive dissonance, right, and you're behaving in that manner, doesn't matter, man, female, whatever, right? There is something innate in us that fights the idea that we are actually engaging in cognitive dissonance. You tell yourself, no, I'm about this. Like, for example, the religious guy who says he's Muslim, like I'm Muslim, but I've come across, people like this. I'm Muslim, but then, you hear like this person will say, oh yeah, oh, Mo, yeah, bro, I know Mo. He's Muslim. What do you mean he's Muslim, bro? He comes out drinking with me, or Mo, Muslim, what? He was just eating a BLT burger. It's a bacon, something that has like bacon, pork, khanzir. For those that don't speak Arabic, khanzir just means swine, pig. These things are forbidden. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it's forbidden in Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. All the Abrahamic religions, they share similarities, and that's a similar take that they share. I know some of you guys say, oh, the New Testament outlined that, whatever. Look, I'm not trying to get technical. That's just another side note. But you get the gist of what I'm talking about. Cognitive dissonance, right? It happens. It happens even to guys. When we say we're going to do this and then we don't end up doing that. Or like, the saying, a man is his word. Yeah. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. When you don't do it, guess what you're doing, buddy? Guess what you're engaging in? You're engaging in cognitive dissonance. It's an interesting concept. I think the only way you can combat it, right, to make sure that you don't fall into this trap, is you need to always be scoring little goals, right? Most of us go about our days by not ticking off the goals that we actually tick off, because we're always thinking about the big one, right? We're always thinking about the future, I want to be financially independent, financially free, and that's the goal. That's what we focus on, but we're not focusing on the journey. We're not focusing on the little goals that we did in order to get there. So I think with cognitive dissonance, in order to not fall into that trap, that's what you must do. So for example, when you wake up, let's just say you have an agenda for today, or agenda in general. You know, you're trying to, everyone's on this thing right now, it's very popular. I'm trying to, you know, work on myself, I'm trying to get to the best version of myself, you know, blah 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 blah. Yeah, all right, so if that's what you're going to do, how do you do it? You don't do it by just, okay, that's my target, okay, I'm just going to get there. You know, you've got to get there by scoring little goals, and you need to tick them off, like whether it's mentally or physically. Okay, so start off by listing everything that you do throughout the day, from the moment that you wake up, right? And then take out things that don't add anything. Let's just say as soon as you wake up, you look at your phone and you start scrolling. Get rid of that. Instead of that, first thing you do when you get out of bed, instead of looking at your phone, you get out and you make your bed. You know, that's an easy goal to do. That's an easy thing that you can just tick off. You know, making your bed. It's not that hard. And when you make your bed, you progress throughout the day. You know, and the way that you progress throughout the day is that you've achieved, you know, making your bed, right? You've cleaned up your room. You know, you progress further into day. But doom scrolling doesn't provide you any progression whatsoever, you know. And don't get tricked by saying I'm going to check my emails and all that kind of stuff, right? If you already have a problem with not being able to utilize your phone properly, like let's just say you're a consumer on social media instead of a creator, like you don't make content, you just consume, then that's what you want to do. Put your phone away, you know what I mean? Make your bed, drink a glass of water, you know, try to drink 2 liters of water, all these things, and tick that off. You know, brushing your teeth, having a shower, getting dressed, all these things that add little progressions to your day so that you can get started. You need to tick them off, because that feeds into your subconscious that you're actually a man of your word. You do what you say you're going to do. It makes it harder and harder for cognitive dissonance to creep in, right? Because you've cultivated that habit of achieving your goals, achieving your steps, achieving the things that you say you're going to do. So that's how you do it. In terms of a relationship, like how to make sure you don't do that, I think you first need to be open to the people that are already in your life and give time to them, and have quality time with them, right? So for example, let's just say, you know, you're in your 30s, in your late 20s or whatever, you know, and you haven't seen your parents for a while. You should spend time with your parents. You know, talk to them, chat to them, do something nice for them. If you've got siblings, also spend time with them. You've got, you know, 2 or 3 friends that are close by, do something and hang out and give time to your community. Because all these things, right, again, feed into your subconscious. And what feeds into your subconscious is like socializing with people that impact your life positively. Like your mother should, I hope so, impacts your life positively, your parents, your siblings, yeah, and you spend time with these people. So what happens then is when the right person, you know, that also is good for you comes to impact your life, you're ready for them, okay? But if you've surrounded yourself and eliminated all those good people out of your life, because, you know, usually that's what happens when you leave home first. You know, you leave home, you don't see your parents for a while, and then you get friends, and then you're too busy like partying and all that kind of stuff, and then before you know it, you just got a bunch of stagnated rubbish company around you, and you don't realize it because you consider all these people friends. But then when you actually step back and you look to yourself and you say, hang on, what am I actually achieving here with these people? What am I gaining? What am I giving to them? And what are we doing here? You know, when you realize you're not doing much, you know, you could probably be catching up with, you know, these people. You could consider them your best friends, but all you do is you go party together, you go clubbing, you drink, you smoke, you know, you basically just hedonism. Yeah, it's an easy trap to fall into, especially in the societies that we live in now. Eliminate these people, you know, unless they are also engaging in the same type of things you want to engage in, like, you know, working in yourself and stuff like that. Like, let's just say, for example, if you can take one of those friends who maybe you find an interest that you both have together. Let's just say you all go partying and all that kind of stuff, but maybe there's 2 of you that go to the gym, but you go separately. Be like, hey man, bro, instead of just, you know, catching up for partying, let's go to the gym. So now your relationship with this person it's positive, right? You guys work out together. You're gym bros. That builds up. vice versa if you're a female as well. And then what happens is you're ready for that kind of energy, right, to come into your life. But if you're not, if the energy that you have in your life is you know what I mean, like just shit cunts. I'm Australian, so I apologize for my lingo. I know that's a very bad word, but here it's normal, you know, like it's terrible. I need to change that. But honestly speaking, it's normal. Like for us to use that C word, you can be in a professional setting, in a corporate setting, and nobody's going to bat an eyelid if you use that word. It's just the Australian culture. So I'm working on it. I apologize if I do swear. But anyways, you understand what I'm trying to say with regards to cognitive dissonance, yeah? Little goals is the trick to get out of it. We all have been touched by cognitive dissonance. We all have different names for it, you know, procrastination, being lazy, whatever it is. All these things are virtually one and the same. And you know, I hope what I'm saying kind of makes sense and it's of value. This is my second video. I'm just putting out there because, as I said in my last video, this is just for me to sort of look back on later on whenever I need stuff like this, because I did something similar on Facebook and it has helped me a lot looking at my previous videos. And if this helps anyone along the way, then why not? But yeah, that's the only reason why I'm doing it. Anyways, peace out until next time.